In this video, I will be going over the Pentax K1000, the longest continuous produced camera of all time. The Pentax K1000 was produced by ASA Pentax in 1976 and was not discontinued until 1997. It is a fully manual camera with no need for a battery except to run the TTL light meter. The best versions were the earliest from 1976 until 1978. These bodies were made of all metal with the ASA logo engraved on the pentaprism. The versions made after 1976 were not made of a complete metal body, but with a plastic core and a chrome finish. This is the type I have here, just the SE version. The only addition to the SE version is the focusing glass. The last version was a complete plastic body and was made in China until 1997.
Now I'm going to go through the very few features that this camera has. I'll begin with the bottom plate. The bottom plate only has a few points of interest to tell you about. This here is the film rewind button, which is for when a roll of film is finished and needs to be rewound back into the canister. It has a little R on it for rewind. This is the 1/4 tripod socket. It's standard. Almost all cameras have a 1/4 tripod socket. And this here is the compartment for the battery, which is only for running the through the lens light meter. And that's it. This camera can run completely without that battery. Unless you absolutely need the light meter, you can run it while it's dead, the battery is at least, and everything will work on the camera. Now the top of the camera has a bit more on it than the bottom for obvious reasons. I'll show you how each feature works once I show and name each. Starting from the right hand side is the film rewind and the film compartment opener. Here we have the hot shoe flash sync, which syncs with 160th second on the shutter speed dial, which is marked with an orange X. This is somewhat slow in today's standards, but back when this camera was made, that was a common speed for flash sync. Neatly tucked inside of the shutter speed is the ISO dial. This goes from 20, see if I can show you, all the way up. You can see it moving. You have to, it's a little difficult to move, but you lift up and turn, and it goes all the way up to 3200. Well, I can't get there, but you know it does it. Now to the left of that is your frame advance lever, and inside of that you have your frame counter. Now this button here is your shutter release. Now to the left of that is your shutter ready. So see how it's black and I just shot a picture? It means it's not ready. Now when I wind that, you see it turned orange and back to black. So now I'm going to move back to the right side and show you how to open up the back of the camera using the knob that you rewind your film with. I'm going to grab a roll of film real quick and I will show you how to load film. So in order to open the back of the camera, you pull straight up on the knob that rewinds the film. Now that will pop open the back. And so in order to load the film, you put it in on. Now technically this looks like it's upside down, but that's mostly how film gets loaded. So you pull your, I'm just going to hold it. You pull your knob up, which you can see this holds the film. So you pull your knob in. I like to fold my film. Makes it easier to load it in here. You're just going to push that down once you have your film in there, and it sits pretty neatly in there. Pull your film over to the right hand side of the camera, push it in, and it's now wound in. You can close that. The back of the camera is really bare, except for the viewfinder and two screws to hold the top plate on. Some cameras have a card holder to put what kind of film is inside. Some have a little window that lets you see what kind of film you have in it. This has none. I kind of don't like how it doesn't have a window, but a lot of older film cameras don't have that. Only the newer end of film cameras do have that. Now, to show you how to use the ISO dial, this is normally how you would use your shutter speed. To adjust your ISO, you pull up on this, and you can see how it's moving. It's 400, 200, 100, and it clicks in place at each one, 64, 32, and 20. And moving to the front of the camera, you can see that it actually has less features than the bottom of the camera. This lever here, if you can see it, this is your lens release. So in order to take the lens off, you would press that down and turn it counterclockwise, and it pops off. The lens I have attached here is the f2 50mm Pentax brand. I really like this lens. It's nice. It's decently fast. It's a K mount that the K1000 use, and this is the lens mount system that Pentax began using with the K2 camera and still actually uses it today. The Pentax 50mm lenses oddly have a 49mm filter ring. Most cameras are 52 or larger. To attach the lens, you line up this red dot with that red dot, and you would spin clockwise until you hear a click. This here is the PC flash sync. This is for older type flashes when you don't use the hot shoe with the normal sync flash. So that's a rundown of the Pentax K1000. This camera is a great tool to learn the basics of photography. The camera is a fully manual camera with no excess or over-the-top features, making it a must-have for anyone trying to learn the technical side of f-stops and shutter speed combinations. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have learned something today. Please comment with any questions you may have, or you can email me directly at filmslrs@gmail.com. The email will be in the description of the video. I will be having another video soon, but on another great film camera. I'll be doing a walkthrough on one of Canon's older cameras, the AE1 program, excuse me. Subscribe to be notified as soon as this video is posted. Thank you for watching.